there I was, 2 weeks out from my 33rd birthday in a 2-star hotel in Bristol. Mind focus. I just spent the past 4 months in Paris, but yeah, I can't sit around and wait for this visa anymore, French government. So, technically I can leave, but I just, I like to have things handled. That's all. Life has been happening. I was, dumped once this summer. Twice. Didn't you get dumped twice this summer? Of course the ex, but then there was also another... Yeah, whatever. It was time for either, a vow of silence. Alright. Now my gums are receding. A vow of silence, or the typical, 90s alternative ballads I turn to for comfort. How about me not blaming you for everything? It's the perfect recipe for my next adventure. I don't have any more answers. Do you? Do you have answers? No. Exactly. And you know what? Neither does anyone at Stonehenge. Nobody else who played a fool. Maybe I was born just to break the rules. Off to Stonehenge I go. And I knew just who to bring with me.
Anyway, so I don't blame the pedestrians, but at the same time,
See, this is Chloe, my former right-hand assistant back in Paris.
No, and I'm not a speedy cyclist.
She moved to Bristol about a year ago. And now she's so integrated that she keeps going on about these bike lanes.
Yeah, and I was like, well, you're in the bike lane. Yeah, granted, it isn't obvious, but that is what I said to him. And then I'm going away and I hear him shouting at me. I don't know what he was saying. And I was just like, fuck off. So you are in the bike lane. I know, I'm trying to... That pain in my brain will make you feel the same. He's like, fuck off, mate.
Damn, these Bristol psychopaths turning people into psychopaths. Fortunately, we made it to our shuttle.
Good morning.
If you're blessed with the vision, gotta watch signs and your gut tells you everything.
You see, I'd been wanting to go to Stonehenge ever since last week when I thought of this idea.
This high street, this is a kind of a typical Cotswold high street. You'll notice that.
Also, these towns are so cute.
So we're about half a mile away from the Stonehenge Visitor Centre.
If you're blessed with the vision, gotta watch signs and your gut tells you everything.
Hello, we want to go to the Stones. Yeah. We want to go to the Stones. Well, Chloe had a very fair observation that it's basically all Americans here.
It's funny that this is a place that seems to exist in the American vision of England, because everyone I've heard here is American. So.
Welcome to Stonehenge, a unique prehistoric temple aligned with the movements of the sun.
Oh. I knew that. I knew that because actually I did my research. Yes, hello! We're here at Stonehenge. It's me and the other 9,000 visitors who visit this place every day. Primarily Americans. When you get over 30, you just start coming to things like this. Let's figure out what this is all about. We're at Stonehenge!
If you're blessed with the vision, gotta watch signs and your gut tells you everything.
I love doing a world tour of Windows XP wallpapers. Personally, it makes history feel more real. Exactly. I was geeking out so much, I was talking Chloe's ear off. You see how it's perfectly nested on top of those rocks? So actually, it's not just a slab of rock on the other rocks. They actually cut out. So it's almost like the vertical ones have a circle, and then the one on top has a circle cut out. So they're like Legos.
Oh, wow.
Now, in the Stonehenge Visitor Center, I did pick up a sandwich box that told me this fact, that actually Stonehenge, this is only one of the 900 other places where there are also stone formations. So Stonehenge is only one of, I know, all that from a sandwich box. 1 hour later on our next stop. Yeah. So I actually didn't know we were gonna stop in multiple locations with stones. Yeah, Stonehenge ain't the only rock formation in this area. Actually, I think this one's cooler because you can get up close to the stones.
You know what it is? I feel like being able to get this close as well, and maybe because there's less tourists, I feel like you can enter a state of pondering history more, or actually feeling the weight of history when you're this close to it.
And as I strolled around Avebury, Henge, and stone circles, I did find it quite funny that we left one herd of sheep at Stonehenge, only to join another. Yes, I don't know if you could tell from the alentour, the surroundings, but we are here in Lacock. Lacock is the town's name. You really might have been onto something. That the places we find the most magical are really just the ones where nobody else is. You know? Yeah, I think travel feels more real, more tangible, more worthwhile when you're not outed as a tourist and you're able to walk around and imagine what your life would have been like had you grown up there. I mean, this? Where are we at? I do want to explain real quick why I wanted to go to Stonehenge in the first place. Look, it's not so much that I care about how they moved the rocks, okay? It's more that the rocks, like, it's physical proof of, like, previous humans existing, so it makes me feel closer to history. It makes me feel closer to history than just reading about what life used to be like 5,000 years ago. Now I'm seeing like somebody moved these rocks from like hundreds of kilometers, hundreds of miles away.
156 miles away. The stones were brought overland.
156 miles away. Without the technology that we have today, like, we wouldn't even be doing that today. So how are they doing it back in the day with nothing? Are there tools that we haven't yet discovered? Is there technology we haven't yet discovered that they were actually using? And the part that's interesting is, like, if we discover that information, like if we solve this mystery, then it kind of changes how we view history as a whole. And I didn't find the answer out, but I did get these photos, and all right, get this. The caption. Stonehenge. Hinge. Henge. Hinge. Henge. Hinge.
So in its earliest phase, one of the functions of Stonehenge was a cemetery.
I knew that.
You build in stone for the ancestors because they are permanent, but you build in timber for the living.
Parker Pearson believes the Durrington walls, with its
That was the smartest thing I heard all day.
was the
And that I probably will hear all day. Chloe, I'm actually listening to the audio tour of Stonehenge. Do you know that, okay, it's not just Stonehenge that, like, qui est concerné là. It's actually that Stonehenge va ensemble avec Durringham. I say it, I keep pronouncing this town wrong. Durringham. You know those houses that were outside the visitor center? Chloe, so this Stonehenge actually used to be a village. So the houses for the living were over in Durringman, but the houses, like to pay tributes to their ancestors, to the spirits, that was Stonehenge. Yet today we pull up to Stonehenge and we're like, what are these rocks for? Baby, we're not understanding the context. We're not understanding the context. Because I don't know if Durrington is still around. Anyway, it was time to move hotels. Hi, I'm early.
That's okay. Did you want to leave your luggage?
Yeah, Damon, Dominique. And so as I waited for 3 p.m. check-in, I sat in this park. I walked on this nature trail. I traversed this bridge. I went through this castle entrance. Damn. Until finally I arrived for Damon's big day in nature. Oh, I missed nature. Damn, like a tree. One tree. A few weeks ago, I was waiting in my doctor's office where I'd come for a routine checkup. I had failed to bring a book along, and not a single magazine on the waiting room table enticed me. Soon, I found myself wondering about the concept of waiting. It suggests some sort of dead time. I then wondered if every language has a word or concept for waiting. Does it exist in the languages of primitive societies? I keep waking up my technicality. Like yesterday, some dude knocked on my door. He's like, "Oh, is it one lower then?" I'm like, "Yes, you're in room 28. I'm in room 29." Today, we got Buzz Lightyear over here waking me up. And I don't know if it's a UK thing, but I've been waking up so dry. Toasty, like toasted out. Like the freaking British Bake Off in here. Trying to bake me out. Please just make a turn. Please just. I don't want to do this. This is as much as the window opens, so I'm trying to get it through there. Okay, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. I thought that I would tie in this like passage that I read yesterday because I feel like this is exactly something I would have talked about in my BetterHelp sessions with my therapist. So BetterHelp is a platform that connects you to a licensed or trained therapist. I've used them back in the day for months at a time. I believe I switched my therapist 2 or 3 times, and I think it's helpful to know what you're looking for when you're going to therapy. You just looking for someone to like hear you out? Are you looking for someone to challenge you on your ideas? Like maybe provide some, I don't know, supplemental reading? Like I was such a therapy nerd. I was like, can you give me homework? I literally was asking for homework. And then like I barely did the homework. That's basically how it went. When I first went to therapy, I didn't really know, like I hadn't met anybody who'd been to therapy before. So I didn't know, like, am I supposed to be asking questions? Are you asking me questions? So here's how it would have gone for me in one of my sessions. I'd be like, look, I just read this passage in this book that was talking about waiting and how it suggests waiting is kind of suggesting that it's some sort of dead time. And how could you ever have a dead time in your life? Like, why would you ever, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, and I honestly feel like the past 4 months I've been waiting for this visa and it's been pissing me off because it's getting in the way of me handling other things. Like I'm trying to open a new French business, but I can't open the business because it looks like my immigration status. Like I don't have the right to work. I do have the right to work. They're just so slow and they haven't. Anyways, administration, paperwork, bureaucracy getting in the way of me living my life. So that's frustrating. And then she'd probably ask me, were there other moments in your life where you feel like you were waiting on something to happen? How did you resolve that? Or did you even resolve it? And if you didn't resolve it, like, did it even matter today? Like, maybe what you're currently worrying about won't even matter in a year from now. So lots of those kind of like back and forth conversations. So I always got a lot from it. And we would have those conversations mostly via video chat each week. You can also write in a daily diary if you want to. But yeah, I was always like, worksheets. And she would send me worksheets through the BetterHelp app. If you do want to try BetterHelp, you can use my code on the screen, Damon, or use the link in the description box below, betterhelp.com/Damon, to get 10% off your first month.
Oh, merci. I mean,
wait, what are we talking about?
On your Instagram story.
Chloe just came up with the most brilliant idea to do a haul for my UK watchers. What is he buying at Boots? What is he buying at Holland Barret? First off, why does everything close at 5:30? Like, is that normal, Chloe?
Yeah, I feel like that's why weekends everywhere's really busy, because that's when everyone gets a chance to like actually go to the shops.
I made it to Holland Barret before 5:30. The Echinacea with vitamin C tablets. Also, I love that here in the UK, it's like everything is, how do you call this? Reduced? You got a lot of reduced stuff.
Yeah, we do. I literally got those bean sprouts for 36p.
But why is everything reduced?
I guess it's like anti-waste.
I'm like, I guess it's expired.
Yeah, true.
I did get the 100% natural baking soda toothpaste. These Trip drinks, they have CBD and like, frankly, I need a higher dose, but like, here, this is a bottle of water. No, I'm kidding. You guys have these overnight oats, but they're protein packed. France doesn't do this. We don't have bags of kale yet. I don't really know why, because I think people would eat it. The broccoli tender steamed. When I think of an apartment in England, it is this.
Really?
Like, it's decorated like this.
It's different when you've picked it out yourself and you come home and you feel like I come here and I'm like, I feel like myself is reflected back at me. Do you feel like that in the place you are now. Yeah.
Like people walk in and like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I painted
Or
that.
especially now with the massive thingy.
Like that was me.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a transformation of self stage. I love how that was a really long-winded way. You were like, so what would you do this weekend if I wasn't here? I'm like, just transformation of self, you know?
Would you have gone to that park or? Did you not go there with that?
I actually don't typically go there, funny enough.
You're like, that's my least favorite park. Like tonight, what are you gonna do?
Oh my god.
You're like, I got a whole night planned.
I just feel like I'm like halfway through every book in this room, and then I get halfway through another one. I never finish one.
No, for me personally, there are pages in books where I'm like, I'm just not reading this page, and then I skip. Like if I'm not enjoying the page, I skip the page, and then I hope that that page wasn't super important. And most of the time, it wasn't. No, but at least I get through the book. Like, well, you know what? I could probably do that because I don't really read fiction.
I read an article about this recently, how boys don't read fiction.
I don't read that shit.
Excuse me?
There was something else, yeah, that said women tend to read fiction more than men because they're more like in tune with their imaginations.
Imagination, also like worth. Like I feel like the social landscape for men now is very much like optimize your sleep, optimize your health, optimize this. Fiction, you get to the end, it's not like you now know how to be your best self, but fiction indirectly can teach you lessons.
True.
But it doesn't promise to teach you anything. Whereas like this book, Deep Work, it's like undo your social media addiction now.
I've always said that if Paris keeps acting up, I'm taking my ass to London. But you know what? It's becoming a pattern that something always goes wrong every time I come here. I mean, with 1 hour left in the UK, I thought I had broken the curse, but this time... Oh my god. I am 1 hour from taking my train from Bristol to Southampton to get on this cruise. And I think I thrifted this bag and it kept on disintegrating day by day. So I threw it away, but I think my wallet, with all my credit cards, and my driver's license for the United States. Oh no. I think it's in the trash can, like gone at this point. Oh my god. What am I gonna do? Hi Tom, I just checked out. I was in room 10. Is it possible to check if I left my wallet? I ate at the restaurant a few days ago, and I'm just wondering if you found a wallet anywhere? Damn it. And maybe this was the curse of Stonehenge. Let's get on. Warning, very hot water. It's scalding. There is no warm water in the UK. It's just, do you want it hot? Do you want scalding water, or do you just want really cold water? You can't have. Saturday morning in Bristol, babes. I gotta tell you, I've been waking up with such like delicious clarity. Like, not a bad thought on my mind when I wake up. And I must say, it's like when you're in Paris, it becomes such a bubble. When you live in a big city and you spend a lot of time there, and then you leave, you forget that like the baseline of stimulation could be a lot lower. Like, I'm looking at a tree right now. Yeah, no matter what city you live in, I think eventually it becomes its own bubble where you kind of forget about what life is like elsewhere. I'm not saying I want to live here or that I want to leave Paris. I'm just, I don't know, something that I'm realizing. For some reason, there's no Wi-Fi in this hotel, and I just don't have the energy to go down and, you know, like, the Wi-Fi's not working, and it hasn't worked for the past day. Like, that can't happen. Like, that can't happen at a hotel. Like, people are traveling internationally, but I didn't have the energy to get worked up about that one, so. Yet another beautiful day here. To be honest, I thought that I was gonna go to Stonehenge today and make the whole video about Stonehenge. And it's hard to make, did you guys know this? It's hard to make a rock look interesting. on camera.
I was just gonna say that I'm surprised that they have vegan sausage roll.
This is what your channel's been about since the beginning, though. It's very much like, yeah, go and see those things.
But then like take a sharp left and go to Avebury instead. Exactly.
Exactly.
I also love that you guys have these like packaged, I mean, I guess everywhere has this pre-packaged rice. Like, okay, everywhere has that actually. like literally the most common food in the world. Can somebody call down to the reception and have them replace this light? Hi, yeah, I'd actually like to put in a request for...
Yeah, like, don't assume. Maybe there's another YouTuber.
I can't, like, because it looks big on camera.
How is it? Flat white.
Every time I come to the UK, the flat white gets smaller and smaller. This is the coffee.